In last class, we have seen common base configuration and its input output characteristics. Okay, so in that we are having a concept while we are providing this biasing to this transistor, that is known as early effect and base width modulation. So what is that basically? So when our transistor is connected in the active region configuration, we are providing forward bias to the emitter base junction and reverse bias to the collector base junction, right? So I'm just drawing that one. Let us consider we have taken this CB configuration. We are having our emitter, base width is very small, then that is our collector. Okay. So while we have been connected with this biasing to this collector base and emitter base junction, so that is our emitter, this is our base, this is base terminal, it is the collector. So if we consider NPN configuration, so this emitter will have all the electrons, it will have the holes, and it will also have the electrons which are quite lesser compared to the electrons in the emitter. So this should be connected in the forward bias, this junction should be connected in the reverse bias. So what does it mean? This emitter here should be connected with the negative or cathode of the battery. This voltage, let us consider VEB. This voltage should be VCB, this one plus, this one minus. So that is what about the configuration in the active region. This base and emitter is in the forward bias, this collector and base is in the reverse bias. So this emitter is heavily doped, then the doping configuration about the collector, it is the moderately doped, and base is the lightly doped, and as well as this base width is very small compared to the other two regions. Okay, so when this is having the forward bias, so obviously there will be certain depletion region, but for this case this depletion region width is very small. This depletion region width is very small because we have given forward bias to this junction. But as we have provided reverse bias, this depletion region width will be most wider in this region. This one will be having the most wider in this region. So what is happening basically, after connection been given for this active region, the physical width, whatever the physical width is there for the base, but if we compare with the effective width of the base, it becomes quite narrower compared to the physical width because of this depletion region, right? This penetration, this reverse bias, or due to this reverse bias, this depletion region penetration will be more in this collector base junction, while it will be quite narrower in the emitter base junction. So as the voltage applied across the junction is increasing, the transition region penetrates more into the base compared to the, though the width is very small compared to the other, so penetration will be higher in the collector region because it is having lesser diffusion concentration. Concentration gradient will be less, so that penetration will be more. But if we consider the width of the base, so this penetration will be even more in the base region. So this effective width, now it becomes very small in the base, because it is having the less doping, as well as the width is very small compared to the other two region. Okay, so this collector depletion region and this emitter base depletion region, out of that, this region is having the higher penetration. So what is happening, the compared to the physical width of base, whatever it is, base region, compared to that, the effective width is smaller. So this physical width, it is quite greater than the effective width of base. So what does it mean? With the application of this biasing voltages in the collector base junction, which is reverse bias, in the emitter base junction, which is forward bias, the base region width is decreases. So that is what known as the base width modulation. Base width modulation. With the application of biasing voltages in the active region, the base region width is decreasing with the application of the biasing voltages, and it is even lesser than the physical width, which is lesser compared to the other two regions. So that is what known as base width modulation, that is decreasing width of base with the applied biasing voltage. With the applied biasing voltage, the decreasing width of base with the applied biasing voltage, that is what the base width modulation, and this effect is known as early effect. This effect, that is with the application of this biasing voltages, as this base width is decreasing, this effect is known as early effect. That is the effect of base width modulation. Base width modulation, that is what known as early effect. Okay, so due to this early effect, the effective width of the base region is decreases. Okay, now you just think of that, previously when this base region is having quite moderate width, so the recombination, when this electrons have been going from this emitter from towards this collector through this base, the recombination was little bit more, though it is less, but we can say it is little bit more, because the penetration was less when we have been applied moderate VCB and VEB, though there is no effect of VEB when we have been applied a moderate VCB. Now when this VCB is increased, the penetration is higher in the base region, so the uncovered charges is less, so there is less numbers of holes exist to have the recombination with the incoming electrons from the emitter side. So IB is decreasing. For this case, the base current IB, now it is decreasing compared to the previously IB, when the penetration was less, because our VCB was moderate. Okay. Now, as this IB is less, so what we can say, current less means impedance increases or resistance increases. So that is what known as base spreading resistance. Base spreading resistance. What does it mean? with the application of the high VCB, that is reverse bias, in the collector base junction, base width is decreases and the amount of recombination is also decreases. So with that, IB decreases. So IB decreases means a resistance is now introduced in the base region which is obstructing the IB. So we can say there are certain resistance. So that resistance is known as base spreading resistance. So three concepts are there. First one is base width modulation. So the effect of this base width modulation is known as early effect. And due to this modulation, as the effective width is decreases, so there is certain resistance been introduced. That resistance is known as base spreading resistance. Clear? Any doubt on this? So next configuration, that is common emitter configuration. So for this case, what we know, emitter is common in the input side as well as in the output side. So let us consider the NPN transistor. So this is our emitter terminal. It will be common in the input side as well as in the output side. So that is what the collector is. That can be connected with a variable resistor where this one will vary. Same, this one can be connected with a variable resistor. So here we can connect an ammeter to measure the current. We can connect an ammeter to measure the current. We can also connect an voltmeter to measure the voltage. So this is the collector, emitter, this is our base. So this voltage is VCC. This voltage is known as VBB. So here this voltage will be VBE. So for the CB configuration we have considered VEB, right? Because B was common. For this case we have been considering VBE, and this voltage, it is VCE. So some current which will flow, that is our IE. This current will be IB. This current will be IC. So here IB flows in the input circuit and IC flows in the output circuit. This IB in the input, IC is in the output. So this one, some input resistance R1, some output resistance R2. IB in the input circuit and IC in the output circuit. So here what we previously discussed, that the ratio of the input current, sorry, the output current and the input current, that is what known as current amplification factor beta. Previously we have seen it is the transportation factor. Now for this common emitter it is known as current amplification factor. beta, that is output current by input current. Now we can change this one with respect to alpha to find out a certain relation between this alpha and beta. So alpha was the current amplification factor for the CB configuration. That was IC by IE. So if we write this IB with respect to the total current, that will be IE minus IC. So by taking certain manipulation, IC by IE 1 minus IC by IE, that is what alpha by 1 minus alpha, that is what the relation between beta and alpha. Now in C configuration, the input current is IB. Now let us consider we have been disconnected this IB from this input source. So what will happen if IB is 0, that is this base lead is open. So for this case, the collector cutoff current will flow. That is what known as ICEO, collector to emitter current with base open. When IB is 0, what does it mean? Base lead open, that is base lead open. No input is been given, but there is certain voltage source been applied in the output circuit, which is connected between collector and emitter. So which kind of biasing it has been provided? It is provided reverse bias, because this positive potential is been connected with this negative, that is N. It is what the NPN transistor, NPN. So this N is connected with the positive potential. So what it will do? It will attract all the charge carriers which have been coming from this emitter, but some negative potential has been connected with the emitter, but this base junction is open. So circuit is open, but according to our concept, proper biasing has been provided to the emitter and collector. So some minimal amount of current will flow, because input is not there, base lead is not able to be connected, so we don't know about the condition of this emitter base junction. We don't know, we don't have any information about the emitter base junction, but according to the concept, emitter is been given certain negative potential, so we have been pushing some charge carriers into this emitter. Okay, so initially due to this diffusion or concentration gradient, some charge carriers can able to move or go from this emitter base junction towards the collector. So a minimal amount of current will flow. That is what known as collector cutoff current, ICEO. So when this base lead open, collector cutoff current will exist. What is this ICEO? ICEO is the collector to emitter current with base open. But it is obviously that this emitter is been having higher amount of charge carriers been entered into the emitter, because some negative or cathode of the battery has been connected with this emitter. So obviously this emitter will be having large number of charge carriers ready to move large number of charge carriers. This collector, as this collector has been connected with this negative, so obviously there are large number of charge carriers are ready to move from this emitter to the collector. But if somehow these charge carriers can able to move to the collector, definitely they will be collected by this positive, that is anode of the battery. Okay, so it is obviously that this ICEO, it will be quite higher than this previous ICBO. ICBO was collected to base current when emitter is open. So between this collected to base, obviously reverse bias has been provided and some minority charge carrier has been moving through this junction, and as a consequence a current has been there which is very less. But for this case, between this emitter and collector some current has been flowing due to the entered charge carriers. But as this IB is open, so we can't assure how much charge carriers will can able to move move through this base towards the collector. So it is obvious that this current will be quite higher than this ICBO. ICEO will be higher than ICBO. Okay. So by taking this concept, let us take out the current equation. So what we know, IE is IB plus IC, the most general equation of current. And for this CB configuration, IC was alpha IE plus ICBO. IC is the certain fraction of IE plus leakage current. So we can somewhat change this equation as IC is equals to alpha IB plus IC plus ICBO. Or if we take this IC in this side, that one will be 1 minus alpha is equals to alpha IB plus ICBO. So what we can say about this IC, if we replacing this I with IB, that is alpha by 1 minus alpha IB plus ICBO by 1 minus alpha. Okay. So what we have been found here, that alpha by 1 minus alpha is our beta, current amplification factor. So let us replace this one here, that is our IC is beta IB plus, if we take the case of this C configuration, this should be ICEO. So what does it mean? Therefore we can write ICEO is ICBO minus by 1 minus alpha. So obviously for this case beta is quite large compared to this previous alpha of CB configuration, because beta is IC by IB. IC is the output current, IB is the input current. So IC is quite higher than IB because IC is a fraction of IE, right? So obviously this beta is quite higher. It is in the range of 2200. Beta ranges from 2200. So this beta will be quite higher because IC, it is due to the IE only. It is some fraction of IE. But IB, it is the recombination current. Okay. So we can say this beta is alpha by 1 minus alpha. Okay. And ICEO is ICBO by 1 minus alpha. Okay. So this IC can further be written as beta IB plus this 1 minus alpha is, we can write in terms of beta as beta plus 1 ICBO. So it is a kind of relation between these different currents of this configuration. Okay. So now let us move to the characteristics, input output characteristics. Okay, so input characteristics, it will be between the applied input voltage and the current. So obviously the applied input voltage is our VBE and input current is our IB, right? It is in the microampere, IB, very less. This is for VC, for fixed VCE of 2 volt, that is for VCE for 6 volt. So this is the input characteristics. So our circuit was, in this circuit we are having the input current IB, this VBE. So it is in PN junction. So it is normal PN junction. So it will have the current after certain voltage, that is certain threshold voltage, or certain, we can say certain knee voltage. So once this knee voltage will overcome due to this input voltage, we can have the current. So that is what we can also found here. After a certain voltage the current will increase. Now as VC is increasing, our current is decreasing. VC is increasing, our current is decreasing. So what does it mean? So with the increment in the value of VCE causes this input current. So let us take this circuit. When this VCE will increase, the voltage across this collector and emitter will increase. The input current IB to be lower for a given level or given value of VBE. So if we consider a certain increment in the VCE, so for the same voltage of VBE, we'll found that the IB is quite lower. So why it is? It is because of the higher value of VCE provide greater CB junction reverse bias. Just try to understand. For a fixed value of VB, let us consider some fixed value of VB has been provided. Now we are increasing our VCE. VC increasing means this IC, this C is provided reverse bias, that is positive is been connected, but emitter is been connected with the positive. Now when we have been given the VBE forward bias, so what does it mean? Forward bias means this base is been provided with positive because P is there, emitter is been provided with negative. So if we compare this CB junction, so base is been connected with less positive compared to the higher positive in the collector. Just try to understand. If we consider this CB junction, though they are from the different voltage sources, but we can say when this VC is increasing for a fixed value of VBE, the potential across this base, it is quite less compared to the potential which has been applied across the collector. So we can say with increment in VCE, this CB junction is been provided with higher amount of reverse bias. Higher amount of reverse bias. How? Because this base is having less positive compared to the higher positive of this collector. Okay. So this N is been provided with higher positive, P is been provided with less positive. So we can say yes, it is some kind of reverse bias. So what it will cause? It will cause a greater penetration of depletion region into the base and reducing the distance between collector base and emitter base region. So from here, if we see that if this junction has been provided with higher amount of reverse bias, if this junction is provided with higher amount of reverse bias, this penetration will be more into the base, and this side it is having a nominal base depletion width, so the effective width is less in the base region. So the distance between these two regions, that is collector base junction, the penetration width, and this penetration width in this emitter base junction is such that this reduces the distance between this collector base and emitter base region. It reduces the distance between the collector base and emitter base region. So what we have been found, with the decrease in this effective base width, the recombination will now less compared to the previous width, which was available with higher number of holes into the base. Now as this width is decreases, so there are very less numbers of holes exist to recombine with the incoming electrons. So as a consequence, the base current is decreases. As a consequence, the base current is decreases. So for this case also, when this emitter has been connected with this VCC as well as this collector, and for a fixed VBE, when this VCC or VCE increases, the depletion region width penetrates more into the base as well as into the collector, and it reduces the distance between this collector base and emitter base junction. So what will happen? There are very less numbers of holes exist to recombine with the incoming electron of the emitter side. So as a consequence, the base current will decreases. So here also the same thing happens. With the increase of this VCE, the IB get decreased because there are very less numbers of holes now exist to recombine with the electrons of the emitter. So every time with the increase in VCE, the IB will decrease, right? Because this VCE, as this VCE increases, reverse bias increases in collector base junction. So with the increase in reverse bias in collector base junction, IB get decreased for a fixed VBE. For a fixed VBE. So let us consider for 1 volt of VBE, when VC was 2 volt, it was around 100. Now when, let us take an example, when VB is fixed to 1 voltage with VC to 6 volt, now it is somewhat 60. So our IB is decreases. Clear? Now let us move to the output characteristics. So this output characteristics, it will be a plot between VCE output voltage and output current. Now this output current is quite more because it is the effect of the IE. So we can take this one in the milliampere range. And we have our output voltage VCE. These are in the volts. Okay. Now when IB was 0, so what we said earlier, that if IB is 0 or if base is open, so when base will be open, so that means VBE is 0. So what will happen? When base is open, if we have been applying with VCE, so what does it mean? This positive is been connected with collector, negative is been connected with this emitter. So emitter is been available with the charge carriers, but as this IB is open, so we can't assure that forward bias has been applied across the emitter base junction. So there are very negligible amount of movement of the charge carriers from from emitter to the collector. So we can say if our IB is 0, the very minimal amount of current will flow. That is what known as ICEO. So if our IB is 0, a minimal amount of current will flow for IB is equals to 0 microamps. Let us consider. Now, when IB will increase, so obviously when IB will increase, as it is already available with the charge carriers, so higher amount of charge carriers now it will move from emitter to the collector. So with the increase in IB, the IC will also increase. Let us consider it is for 20 microamps. So in this way, further increment in IB, it will have increased amount of IC. Same. So right now we are working with the active region of operation because VC is provided with the reverse bias and VB is provided with the forward bias, and that results into the IB. So right now we are in the active region. So let us consider it is 0. This is, let us consider some voltage up to 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. 1, 2, 3. So this is our cutoff region. Okay. Now when this side between 0 to 1, the current is less. When the current will be start due to the IB. So this side, okay, if we further move towards VCE, so if we further moves this VCE, what will happen? So if we increase VCE to a greater extent, so higher amount of reverse bias will be applied into the collector base junction. So a time will come, breakdown will occur. So if breakdown will occur, obviously minority charge carriers will be there. So it will result into the breakdown. So if we increase further, we'll have the breakdown. We'll have the breakdown. So that is what the breakdown is. Now, if we applied a very less amount of VCE, just try to understand. If we apply a very less amount of VCE, what does it mean? VCE is less than VBE. What does it mean? Means collector potential, positive potential is now less than the positive potential of the base. So we can say a forward bias is now applied across the collector base junction. Forward bias is applied because this collector is having this positive potential, but it is less than this base positive potential. So for the less value of VCE, which is quite lesser than the applied VB in the input side, will have the forward bias been applied in the collector base junction, and there is already available VB which is making emitter base junction forward bias. So we can have the saturation region. So we can say if we are, for this case, if we are on the range of 0 to 1, where the collector current has just started due to this input applied voltage VBE. Now if we are being confined with a very less value of VCE, we can have the saturation region. So that is what is the saturation region. So I am writing like this. Saturation region. Why? because we have taken the concept that when VCE is quite less than VBE, means collector is been provided with less negative compared to the base. So collector base junction is also having the forward bias. So input side is also having the forward bias, output side is also having the, that is emitter base junction forward bias, collector base junction is also forward bias. So both of them are in the forward bias condition. So that is what the saturation region is. Okay. So this is all about the collector base, sorry, output characteristics of the common emitter configuration. Okay, one left, common collector, you just go with that. It is not that much important. So next topic is a transistor as an amplifier. How a transistor can work as an amplifier. So let us consider the most common configuration, that is common base. So a transistor has been connected in the common base configuration, and let us found how this transistor can amplify the input. An NPN transistor is there. Some output load is been connected, RL, around which we can expect certain voltage, output voltage. We have been, sorry, this reverse bias should be connected. This is the reverse bias for the collector base junction. We are having the forward bias with the emitter base junction. So this side IE, IB and IC. So this voltage is VCC, VE. Okay. So a small change in the input of this emitter base junction changes the barrier height, right? So if there are certain variation in this input voltage, obviously barrier height or depletion region width will change. Hence, the emitter current will also be changed. So this change has been given by del Vi will leads to del IE. That is, the change in the input voltage will have the corresponding change in the IE, and that one will also have the effect in the IC, but this del IC is less than del IE because there are certain recombination bin exist in the base region, because IC is a certain fraction of IE. So what we can say, this voltage drop across this RL, that is del V naught, will be RL into del IC across this load resistance. So this del Vi will leads to a change in the collector current, and that leads to the voltage drop in the output resistance RL. Now if in the input side, this emitter junction, if it is having certain dynamic resistance of Re, so we can find out this voltage del Vi, which has been applied across this dynamic resistance, that leads to the current del IE. So if Re is the dynamic resistance of the emitter junction we can say del Vi will be Re into del IE. So that is what the input voltage which leads to the current IE. That is what the output voltage due to the current IC. So if you take the ratio of this output voltage to input voltage, that is what the voltage gain. Therefore, voltage gain AV is the ratio between the output voltage and the input voltage. Del V naught by del Vi. That is RL by Re del IC by del IE. So this del IC by del IE, what is that? The current gain. IC by IE, output current, input current. Del IC by del IE is the current gain. AI, that is represented with AI of the transistor. So obviously this AI, that is AI is del IC by del I. That is what the voltage gain. So this AI, it is slightly less than unity, less than 1. Why? Because this IC is slightly less than IE. But this RL is quite greater than RE. This AI is less than 1. It is quite fine, no problem. But this RL is much higher than this RE. So we can say obviously this AB, it will be much larger than unity. Since AI is less than 1 and RL is greater than RE, our AV is greater than unity. This voltage amplification is quite higher. So let us consider for an example, if we consider this AI which is slightly less than unity, that is 0.98, our RL, it is quite higher than RE. Let us consider it is 3 kilo ohm and RE is 30 ohm. So our AB will be 98. So it is quite higher than 1. So though this current amplification is less than 1, but voltage amplification is quite higher. So that is what the amplification all about in this circuit. So we are having the current gain, we are having the voltage gain, we can easily find out the power gain. So therefore the power gain AP, it is AI into AV, that is del IC square into RL by del IE square into RE. That is what the input power, sorry, it is the output power P out by P in. So it is a simple concept about the amplification of the transistor. Any doubt? Anyone up to this? Anyone having any doubt? We can also use a transistor as a switch. transistor as a switch. So what does it mean? The transistor, depending upon the requirement, we can make the circuit on or we can make the circuit off using a transistor. So let us take CE configuration to make a switch. Plus minus, it is input minus VCC R. Some input resistance is also there, RS IC. Okay, so if our Vi is somewhat less than a certain value, the output will also be 0. Okay, so this kind of switch is having the requirement in a high speed counters, computers like this. So it is on when it is in the saturation region. Transistor is on when in saturation region, and obviously it is off when in the cutoff region. So by applying a certain pulse voltage to the transistor, we can take this output either on or off, or we can switch between one state to another state. We can switch between that. So let us take an input, a pulse, a rectangular pulse. This is what the input is. Let us take an input like this. This voltage level is V1, sorry, it is V1. This voltage level is V2. So when the input circuit has been connected something like that, a pulse voltage, it is having the transition from V2 to V1. It is having the transition from V2 to V1. So initially if Vi is V2, the transistor is in the cutoff state. If this input is in the V2, so V2 is somewhat negative, right? So negative means this should be negative. So input side is also in the cutoff state, output, sorry, reverse bias, output is already in the reverse bias. Okay, so that is what the transistor is in the switch off state. Now when this Vi changes to V1, that is it goes to positive, this IC or this output will be having certain voltage level. So let us take Vi initially is V2. Transistor will be in the cutoff state. V2 means it is somehow some little bit negative. So V2 is negative. So this VB, it is negative, it is positive. So this VB junction is in the reverse bias, right? It is in the reverse bias. So this is collector is already into the, this collector has been connected with the positive and base is in the negative. So just try to think, for this case when Vi is equals to V2, that is certain some negative voltage. For this case base is negative, emitter is positive, and collector is positive. So emitter base junction, this if it is NPN transistor, positive is connected with negative and negative is connected with positive. So this emitter base junction is in the reverse bias. Let us check about the collector base junction. Base is negative, collector is positive. So this negative is connected with positive, right? And base which was positive, it is connected with negative. So it leads to collector base junction into the reverse bias, that is in the cutoff state. Now let us change our input to V1, that is certain positive voltage. So let us check. Base is in the positive, emitter is in the negative, and collector it is always left with positive. Okay, so this emitter base junction is in the forward bias. Now collector base junction. So positive has been given to this base, collector is also in the positive. So P, that is this base, is with higher positive compared to this Vc. So P is the higher compared to the positive of this collector. Base positive is higher because we have been applying with certain pulse which is quite higher than this Vcc. So base is been connected with higher positive compared to this collector. So we can say P is connected with higher positive and is connected with lower positive. So that is for the forward bias. So collector base junction is also into the forward bias. So what does it mean? We have been working on the saturation region. So for the on state, when this IC will flow, for that case we have been driving our transistor into the saturation region. We have been in the saturation region, means a constant IC will now flow. When this transistor is been provided with this negative voltage, we can operating with cutoff state of the transistor. So that is what a action of transistor, switching action of transistor. Clear? Any doubt? Anyone? So I'm just concluding up to this.